Dallas Mavericks getting a gritty win over the Atlanta Hawks last night, clinching a spot in the playoffs. Already back in action tonight, hosting the Golden State Warriors. Joining me to talk about it all, Nick Angstadt, host of the Locked On Mavericks podcast. Good morning, Nick.
Morning. Let's play some basketball today.
I'm telling you, first, it was never very pretty last night for the Mavs. They got the win, but your thoughts on the game, the good, the bad, and maybe the ugly.
It got ugly in the fourth. Only like 31 total points scored in that quarter by both teams. It got really, really ugly. But the Mavs found another way to win a game, and that's what teams that make playoff runs, that's what they do. They find different ways to win games. The Mavs turned the Hawks over 21 times last night. It was a huge number, and they just found a way to win, and they keep playing with defense.
Now on to tonight, the Mavs are taking on the Warriors, one of the team's only 2 losses in the last 14 games. What do they got to do differently than they did on Tuesday? Like, what are your keys to get that Mavs dub tonight?
Yeah, they got to come out with energy. They got it. Last night, I was a little nervous how it ended. How basically both teams kind of just gave up with like 2 minutes left, and so I'm looking to see what kind of energy these two teams can bring. And the Mavs really have to keep playing their game. They have to contain some of those wings. They did a really good job on Steph Curry last time they played, but the bench for the Warriors just went off, and so the Mavs have to keep playing sound defense. They have to control the turnovers that the Mavs give up, and then Luka and Kyrie, those guys just continue to have to be great.
We mentioned the Mavs clinched that playoff spot last night, but they're still 2 games back behind the Clippers for the 4th seed in the West. You think they'll make it, and how do you see this postseason shaking out?
Yeah, you say the playoffs, but the play-in is still like in play. They're only a game or so ahead of some of the team behind them, so they have to keep winning the games in front of them. They have some of the tiebreakers with teams like the Suns and the Kings for now and the Pelicans, and so that's good for right now where the Mavericks are. They're definitely going to be in the postseason, which is great after missing it completely last year. But yeah, the Mavs just have to keep taking care of business, and their schedule is pretty favorable here the rest of the way.
Anybody you got your eye on tonight outside of Luka and Kyrie, you know, the obvious ones?
Yeah, P.J. Washington he came into the Mavericks and he's been an amazing defender, really changed the Mavericks defense completely. And the last 5 or 6 games or so, he's shooting over 40% from 3. That was a big question with him. He was really struggling to shoot for a while there. He's starting to knock down his threes. And so I'm looking to see once he starts knocking down those threes, what else does he add to his game? What else does he continue to bring to the Mavericks?
All right, we got some big breaking NBA news in just the last half hour. Bronnie James, LeBron's oldest son, is declaring for the NBA draft. I just want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, he's doing the 1 foot out the door, 1 foot in the door kind of deal. He's got both. He's declared for the draft, but then he's also still entering the transfer portal in college to leave USC, and so he's testing the waters. I don't think he's going to get a first round promise or grade from anybody. I've asked our Locked On NBA Big Board hosts, and they don't think that he's necessarily an NBA prospect just yet. The Mavericks do, though, have the last pick in the NBA draft in the 2nd round this season, and so if anybody's going to do something like that and draft Bronnie and bring him in, I wouldn't pass Mark Cuban and friends.
I mean, come on, Nick. That would be insanity here in Dallas.
Legends games would be really fun if they drafted him and then put him up in Frisco, and I would go to a lot of those games.
I'm not going to lie, I probably would too. You can catch new episodes of the Locked On Mavs podcast with Nick daily. Shout out to him. Download it anywhere you get your podcasts. You can also see 4 more of the Mavs' remaining games, the ones they need to win, live right here on WFAA. Tonight's game against the Warriors tips off at 7:30.